What's up, man?
All right, so we just over here because we want to ask, what's the sign? Are you honest and open-minded?
So I just want to find out to see if the public is honest and open-minded. Would you guys consider yourselves open-minded?
I would like to think so.
Right?
Yeah.
So from 1 to 10, how open-minded would you guys say you are?
I feel like I'm 7.
7? Okay,
7,
above
8,
average.
yeah.
That's good.
What's
And
the
you?
concept of open-minded?
That's a great question, too.
Okay, so so what's the difference between closed-minded and open-minded, right? So a closed-minded person, in my opinion, will be someone that is stuck in their beliefs and will deny any proofs that contradict those beliefs, right? So they're just close-minded to their beliefs, right? They're stuck. So kind of like a religious person or a cult member, right?
Interesting.
So somebody
Very
that's
interesting.
open-minded, it's open to having their beliefs challenged because they don't want to be wrong, right? So they're open to, okay, if you could prove me wrong, I'm open to that idea there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're always open to learning something new.
That's quite funny because we're going through something similar, something
Okay.
like that with our minds being opened.
Yeah.
So it's funny that we see this because we're going through a change in our lives that kind of challenge being closed-minded and helps us be more
Exactly.
open-minded.
Yeah.
So-
Life challenges us
Yeah.
in general. But
Yeah.
again, closed-minded people would just avoid anything that contradicts their standing or their beliefs, right? So since it's 1 through 10, you said 7. How open-minded would you say you are? From 1 through 10?
At this moment, I'm probably at a 7.58.
I feel like we're a little bit higher because we're going through some pretty enlightening stuff right now.
Yeah, it's like an
Personally,
awakening of a lot of things that
Right.
we were kind of like closed up to since a very long time, and now that we're kind of like seeing things out there, we're more open to
Right.
learn and discover.
Yeah.
Exactly, because we don't know everything, right? Nobody knows everything.
Right.
So let's say there was a lie, right? A lie that you two believed, but this lie affected your whole existence and your whole life, basically. Would you guys want to know about it, or would you guys rather be living in ignorance?
Well, the whole term of ignorance is bliss is a very, when you look at it, it's like, would you rather be ignorant because you can live like your everyday life of how it used to be,
Exactly.
of contentment, or
Exactly.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, contentment's a good word.
Yeah, content. Yeah, that's a
but
good one.
when you're opened up to the truth, it becomes harder to live life because you have a duality of
Exactly.
mind.
Exactly.
So personally, since I'm going through that right now, yes, I'd rather have the lie be told. I mean the truth. I'd rather find out the truth
Exactly.
so I can work towards that, being a better person from
Exactly.
opening
I mean,
up.
who want to live a life? You know.
Yeah,
especially-
living a life of lie. I mean, like I said, ignorance is bliss. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good time
Exactly.
living that life.
Exactly.
But having the truth, it's like the truth will set you free.
Exactly.
You'll be able to do what you want to do and live how you want to live without anyone, judging you or whatever.
Exactly.
And
So-
it would lead you to real happiness. I feel that's the thing. Once you realize there's something real out there, something more genuine, you kind of like start realizing that life can be more
More than
joyful.
what we have now.
Yeah.
In other words. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Perfect. So now this is the main question why I'm doing this, and we're gonna test to see how open-minded you guys really are. So,
Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm interested in because.
Now, is this like some sort of like
I have a YouTube
survey?
channel, so you guys can check it out after.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
cool,
have conversations
yeah.
with all of different kinds of people. So,
Yeah.
do you guys believe the Earth is a ball?
That's a great question because one of our friends was talking about that with flat Earth and all that stuff. Well, I do. I
Okay.
personally believe
the Earth
it's
is
a
a ball.
sphere. Yeah.
And do you?
I have questions. about
Question.
it.
Okay. So
I have questions because as we were the other day, literally like a couple of weeks, just talking about this with a friend of mine,
Right.
and I was just like analyzing the ideas that he was showing me,
Okay.
and just like kind of like make sense of a lot of things. Just like getting on an airplane and seeing the routes that they would take
Okay.
to go from one place to another. Why wouldn't they take another direction or something like that? It makes me think, why?
Right.
You know?
So, a lot of flat earthers, right? I don't call myself a flat earther, by the way. Flat earth is kind of a psyop as well. So,
Yeah.
a lot of flat earthers that believe the earth is flat, again, belief to me is like a word that shouldn't even exist because you either know something or you don't. Exactly. So, belief is you lying to yourself. That's why the
Right.
word lie is in the word belief because you have to lie to yourself because in reality you don't really know.
Yeah.
Right? So, a lot of people have been duped into believing the Earth is flat based on how planes fly, for example, or based on the luminaries, so how far you can see, right? I would say those are all inconclusive proofs. They're very gray, right? Like you say, they make you question, but they don't make you commit or understand what's really going on, right? So before I get to the proofs, it's a very easy proof to debunk this, but before I get to that,
Wait, debunk that it's flat Earth, or
no,
it's
that's
like sphere?
this is an official NASA image, by the way.
Right.
So this one's taken from 2012, and NASA admit that they don't take real photographs of the Earth from space. So all the images that they take, they're all composites. So in other words, they're all CGI, computer generated. So in other words, a real photograph of the Earth as a ball doesn't exist. So if I was to ask you guys, why do you guys think that photographs of the Earth from space or as a ball doesn't exist?
Well, it's from schooling, right? Going back to school, you get you're taught the Earth is a spherical image, and even in the Bible it talks about that. So if you're religious, you're going to believe that it's spherical and not a flat Earth or just a circle.
I would say the Mormons, they're the ones, their Bible is the only one that says that the Earth is a globe, but all the other religions don't really get into specifics.
They just say like it's circular or a sphere. Like,
They say circle, but they never say sphere. But a circle could be flat.
yeah, I know. Like there's a
or
belief
level.
that it's like there's a specific
Like a dome?
like a dome or something
Right,
like that
right,
over it.
right,
I don't.
right.
Again, I don't know.
Right,
so I could say, yeah, definitively, this is this,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
technically speaking, I don't know because I've never been out to space.
Right.
I've never been. I'm not a NASA scientist. I
And
don't
even
know.
what you're saying about the NASA, there's a lot of things to question about them too that we won't really be able to tell. Like
prove, exactly.
we don't have God's eyes to see, okay, this is how it looks, you know.
If I was to show you an image of me flying or me walking on water, would you believe I could do those things if I showed you an image?
Not an image, no.
Or how about a video? If I showed you a video of me flying?
Well, it would depend because there's a lot of things that could be in play. Like you can have like the thin strings holding you up.
Right.
You could be walking on water, but there's a plane of glass underneath.
So
you.
ultimately, you wouldn't believe I could fly. You would.
No, unless I was literally seeing you there with nothing, in person.
Then maybe, right? Maybe.
Then
Because even
maybe,
then,
right.
magicians do that too, but they also use tricks as well, right?
Right.
Even walking on water. So I would say that those things defy physics. So anything that defies physics, I would say we shouldn't take serious. So if I made a claim to you, I can walk through walls, would you believe I could do that?
No,
Exactly.
not at all.
Matter
Yeah.
can't go through matter. That's
Right.
a fact, right? So again, when we're talking about these images, NASA claims to have satellites orbiting the Earth, right? So they need to know the radius of orbit. So they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it, right? So they do tell us the radius of the Earth is actually 3,959 miles. So based on the radius, there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile has to increase because you're claiming it's a curve, not a slope. So in the first mile, there's an 8-inch drop. Second mile, 32 inches, and by the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. So if we went out to
eventually going curving.
Yeah, exactly. So if we went out to like a giant body of water, for example, like this, to physically measure the surface of water to see if it actually bends, they're trying to tell us that the surface of water is bending 6 feet in 3 miles.
Oh, okay.
So that dip, it's a deviation in elevation.
Got it. So that's why I'm going to cut you off. I'm so sorry. It's because I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I am not smart at all. I don't think I'm smart.
Trust me, you are. But
oh, thanks. But so like if the ship is right here, right, you can see the top. That's why we only see the top of the ship because it's right here.
What
right?
if I tell you that if you zoom in with a camera, you can see that ship again?
Really?
Yeah, exactly. So again, if we went to a giant lake to physically measure for this curvature, the water, the physics of water, is going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal above it. Because I don't know if you've ever heard water always finds its level, right? Regardless of the only if you were to try to deviate water, it would just start to flow. That's what a river would be. But once water is contained, like on a lake, and it's at rest, the surface always forms an equal surface. That being level, that being horizontal.
Right.
That's where we get our literal definition of level. Is from the physics of water. Water is the number one tool for measuring. That is why these are used with liquid and air.
Got it. That's why you had the leveler. I'm like, why do you have the leveler out here?
Exactly.
So like, sorry to cut you off again, but
no
so if the
worries.
water's like this, right,
Yeah.
and the Earth is like that, it's still going to be level.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
And water can't stick to a ball either. Water needs to be contained from the outside.
Yeah.
Water can't stick to the outside of
the
a
land,
shape.
in between the land masses.
So the land masses are a higher elevation than the water. So when people ask, well, what's holding the water in? A lot of people say Antarctica, a lot of flat earthers. The fact is Antarctica hasn't been confirmed. So
what?
we don't
I'm sorry?
Antarctica?
Oh, Antarctica, yeah.
Hasn't been confirmed, but they do claim it's like a ring around the earth. I don't know if you guys seen that map.
Yeah.
I don't buy into any of those maps because I would say all of those maps are psyops. The fact is nobody knows the true layout of the earth. But it is level. Have you heard of the term sea level?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Level being horizontal. Again, that's how we measure heights and depths, all from a datum line being a straight line. If it was from a curve, it wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying? So Have you? How would you guys describe the horizon? Do you have an image of it? Because I know you guys seen a lot of other images, but how would you guys describe the horizon, even here?
Like, what do you mean?
Geometrically, how would you guys describe it?
Technically speaking, straight,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I would say horizontal. I would say the word horizon comes from the word horizontal, right? So the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the earth, again, is through CGI images like this, obviously, like, or through GoPro cameras that have a wide angle fisheye lens that warp horizontal lines. So whenever you see like fighter jets or people supposedly on an airplane, you know, filming curvature, they're usually using a GoPro like this.
Right.
And it distorts the image, obviously, to give a false perspective. But the reality is, again, the horizon with a standard camera, like on your phone, will always form a horizontal.
Got it.
From left to right.
I'm waiting for the ball to drop. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
No. So basically, a physical measurement of the Earth, again, like this, will debunk the globe Earth. Because again, they're trying to tell us that that deviation, 6 feet and 3 miles, will be there. But again, we know that it won't be. You know, we understand our common sense in physics, water. So if I was to ask you guys respectfully, what's the number? Well, you especially because you're kind of in the middle. But what's the number one proof that convinces you that the Earth is a ball?
Well, it's the curvature.
What about the curvature?
The fact that it bends, like this part right here, the ball Earth physics would be this. So this part right here.
So where have you seen the curvature? Or
I personally haven't seen it because it's.
Oh, so you would say
from learning from like in school and science, they would always talk about that, how the, like, say the distance this way is eventually you're not going to be able to see like the ship or whatever because the Earth is curving down.
Yeah.
So
we can easily debunk that claim about, for example, if I hold this water bottle and start moving away from you, what's going to happen in your field of view with this bottle? The further I go,
smaller and smaller
right. to basically it vanishes. So we have a limit to how far we can see.
Right.
You know, when you go to the DMV to test your eyes, they're measuring your visual acuity because everything shrinks at the horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
The horizon is the limit of perspective. So when we elevate, we increase our angle of view,
right.
So we're able to see more in front of you. So the horizon will never drop below your feet. The higher you elevate, that's what should happen if the Earth was a globe.
Got it.
So again, these images, the horizon should be way below the higher you elevate. Again, because the horizon is always below your feet, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're standing at sea, that supposedly it's like a hill going down, right?
Yeah.
But when you elevate, a hill should never rise to your eye level. But that's what happens.
Right.
But that's what will happen with an extended plane. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're really putting my my beliefs in question, I guess.
No, yeah. So okay, let me just go back to like kind of the first questions I was asking.
Yeah.
Are you guys 100% convinced that the Earth is a ball, or is there a possibility that maybe we have been lied to about the nature
Now?
of this place?
There's a possibility, right? There's a possibility for everything.
Just
No, yeah.
as much as we've been lied to in so many other things.
Exactly.
And what he said, I know the Earth is round because that's what I was taught in school. So coming just from that point, there are so many things that we were taught since we were kids that we just took it as a fact, but we don't really have
The proof.
the proof
Exactly.
to say yes, this is what it is.
And we've seen that multiple times in history or whatever. There's people will lie just to push their agenda. So who knows? I don't. Now I would have said like, oh yeah, I believe that the Earth is a ball or a sphere. But now I'm like, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Right.
You know?
So again, when it comes to history, I personally stay away from history because at the end of the day, it's his story. It's just a story.
Yeah.
We can't prove what happened in the past because we weren't there. So in my opinion, history in our education system is just like there to just fill our minds with bullshit.
Yeah.
So that we just believe what we're told. We just believe authority, or they basically give us a sequence of events too with history, so that we're more obedient to accept. Okay, this is what you need to do because this is what they did in the past. Right? So again, history to me, when it comes to the shape of the Earth, is completely irrelevant because the shape of the Earth is a physics, is a science question, right? Physics in specific, again, how substance behaves, especially water being the number one abundant substance on Earth that covers the entire Earth, basically. That is what's going to prove to us that the Earth is not a ball.
Got
That's
it.
how water
Got it.
behaves.
Yeah.
And again, in the horizon, have you guys heard of Euclidean plane geometry?
No.
So Euclidean plane geometry is the geometry that's used to build everything we see. So from railroads to bridges to everything that we see, right?
Okay.
All the roads.
Yeah. Like how like the arcs and the triangles and all that stuff. to
So
make
it's
the-
all done from an assumption that the Earth is a level plane. That's what Euclidean geometry is.
Oh, got
So
it.
we don't use spherical geometry when we build long distances,
Oh,
which we
okay,
should.
okay.
Again, if the Earth was a globe. Like, in other words, all the blueprints that you would see or that exist, they're all plumbs and levels. They're all verticals and horizontal lines. There's no blueprints that exist with curved lines.
Got it.
You know, because again, the Earth is not a ball.
So, in your opinion, why do you think government officials or whoever created this other narrative of the Earth being spherical or the Earth being flat.
Right.
So is that just to prove that they want to divide the people? And
It's to create. Well, not necessarily to create division, even though that's one of the ways they control. It's creating division, right? But it is about control. So I'm gonna tell you. So is it easier to control somebody that's gullible, that has a child mentality, or is it?
For sure. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
So to me, if you give your authority away as a child, again, when you're told that the Earth is a ball, you're basically giving away your common sense, because water shows you, your reality shows you that we're not spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. That's what they had to say too.
Right.
And then obviously, so if you're willing to give away common sense at a very young age, then you're gonna grow up just trusting authority.
Yeah,
so you're gonna be
true.
more easily controlled.
Yeah, you see that a lot in religion. You see that in a lot of cults. A lot of people they want that control, and they'll use like specific speech or whatever to control you and divide or whatever.
You know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Oh yeah, no, Neil.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Of course, yeah.
These are the globe Earth priests, basically.
Right.
And the Ball Earth believe it or not, is a cult. Why? Because it's based on ideology that's not true. Because that's what all cults are founded upon. And not only that, all cults just follow their leaders blindly. They just take all their.
That's true.
And that's exactly what we're
Without
experiencing.
question, yeah.
Exactly.
And if you question, then you're out.
Exactly. People lose their jobs
Yeah.
because of this topic before. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows you how much of a cult mentality people have. Because we are in a cult. And a lot of people don't like that word because it does have a bad rep.
Oh yeah,
but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. We could have good cultures, because that's what cults are. They're just cultures. But all of our cultures right now are basically based on ideology.
Have cult following.
Exactly. Yeah. So cults, they're not. They shouldn't be bad, but obviously.
Yeah.
Because we could form communities. You could say those are cults, right? But we could have communities of just independent people. Right.
Our movies have to be a cult classic or something like that.
Right. No. Yeah. I mean, do you guys have any questions for me?
No questions, but more so the fact that this kind of opens my eyes that there's possibility for anything, really.
Right.
So we shouldn't really be stuck in our ways and be willing to look at things from a different perspective, because life is about perspective. People are going to have different perspectives. So to me, this is very interesting.
I would say this findings or this truth to me changed my whole perspective on life. Like you said, before I didn't give a fuck. Like I just lived life. I was just thinking of myself, like just trying to get by, right? Like just like everybody, just trying to make enough money to get by, stuff like that. And that, believe it or not, takes up your whole mind. Believe it or not, if you just get stuck on a 9 to 5, you're not gonna have time to really think about your reality and what's really going on, right? And that's how they want everybody.
Yeah, they want slaves.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They want
tax farms.
That's pretty much what school is. It's to build workers.
Exactly.
So when you build workers, everyone has a hive mind of just going day by day of doing whatever they can.
Yes.
But when people are free thinkers or when they think for themselves, they don't like those type of people.
Yeah. So my channel,
they look crazy or whatever.
because what you're saying is true. Not only is like telling a bunch of lies contagious, especially when you just repeat them. Now imagine repeating common sense. That's gonna be even more contagious, like 10 times more contagious when people just repeat common sense. So that's one of the reasons why my channel is super censored online. So my channel would not get recommended.
Demonetized and stuff?
Well, I don't even monetize. It's pointless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
my channel doesn't get recommended in the algorithms. YouTube remove views. They remove subscribers because they don't want a channel like mine or someone like me to start speaking common sense to others. Because then again, people are just gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
it's a way of controlling too.
It's about controlling information.
Yeah.
That's
what media is. It's like if it's not what they're not pushing their agenda, they don't want it. They don't want it on their platform. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
No, but you guys seem really open-minded, man. Believe it or not, you guys are really open-minded. No, because I do talk to a lot of people, and you guys will see when I give you my channel. A lot of people are very defensive. You can even see it sometimes. They get like annoyed, right? Yeah, and I'm just the messenger. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just showing you what the reality, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of sometimes even get mad at me, right? But no, you guys are really cool, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I think the reason why we're so open-minded is because, well, I'm not going to speak on your behalf, but I'll speak on my behalf. I grew up in a cult, so I know what it's like. I know what the control that they have on people, and how when you try to open your mind or you try to look at things in a different perspective, it can be frowned upon, very, very frowned upon. So being open-minded is one of my things that I like to do, and when people come at me like with stuff like, well, I know you're not a flat earther, but when they come to me about that stuff, I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. No judgment here. I'm not gonna judge you.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's going through life in a specific way.
Exactly.
So
So this is the #1 censored topic online, and it's because of that. You know, you start questioning your teachings, and you automatically gonna get backlash. So this is the #1 subject that gets the most backlash. And another thing is, I know you mentioned flat Earth, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm not a flat earther and why flat Earth is a psyop. Because over 95% of flat earthers, again, they just believe the Earth is flat, which is stupid.
Yeah.
And not only that, most of these people actually believe the Earth is motionless as well, which is not the case. Because again, so the Earth is not flat because flat has nothing to do with orientation. So I could have a flat piece of paper like this, right? But if it's on a slope, it's not level. It's just flat. So the Earth is level, and in order for something to have orientation, so the Earth is level because it has orientation. And in order for something to have orientation, it needs to have direction. So it needs to have motion. So the Earth is in constant motion. So right now, the Earth is pressing up against your feet. It's not you being pressed down. So this whole theory of gravity being a pulling force, it's bullshit. It's the Earth that's pushing up against us. So that's the reality. So that's the #1 proof that debunks the whole globe Earth model. Because if the Earth is pushing up against us in every direction from a globe, what does that mean?
We'll be
That's
like
expanding. Not only that, the Earth will have to be growing. That doesn't make any sense. You know, if the Earth is because the ground is pressing up against us. That's the reality.
So
the Earth is a level plane, just left to right, and it's just in constant motion, pressing up against us.
Oh, okay. So it's going up.
Yeah. So everybody's up is always. So in Australia, your up is not down; it's still up in reality.
Right, because it's like Australia would technically be over there.
Yeah,
right?
it would just be across the exactly. It'll be
Okay.
across the way, not under us. Yeah, exactly. So again, that proof right there, the gravity pulling force. These motionless flat earthers are basically claiming there's a force pulling everything down as well. And again, they're not fucking thinking; they're fucking morons. Nothing personal, because more than half of my subscribers are motionless flat earthers, and I get a lot of hate in the comments. It's because they follow their own little guru and their own little cult already, and that's how they're controlling this information. By the way, that's how they're misrepresenting, saying the Earth is motionless when it's not. They're basically reality deniers, basically as well. Just like globe earthers, motionless flat earthers are the same thing.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna become a NASA scientist, and I'm gonna fly up in the Earth or fly up in space. I'm gonna see it for myself.
What if I told you that humans can't even go more than like 20 to 30 miles up in the sky?
But that's what I've always questioned
I've always wondered
myself.
that.
Like,
And nobody can go higher than 30 miles.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Red Bull jump? The jump from space, supposedly?
Yeah, the guy who came down.
From a helium balloon. He took a giant helium balloon.
Yeah,
He jumped from the
I've seen that.
Yeah. So I would say that's the highest human beings have ever gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And the reason why he used the helium balloon is because the change in pressure at a certain altitude, airplanes or some certain aircraft wouldn't work at that altitude.
Oh, got it.
So that's why they used the helium.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, like flat Earth?
No, flat Earth is kind of a psyop. Well, it is a psyop, but
It kind of is.
yeah, here you go.
Like
Check
a
it out.
toroidal electric magnetic type something?
What does that have to do with the shape of the Earth? I mean,
So what are you doing? What is this?
Well, it was nice
Sorry.
meeting you.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
no,
guys
you're good.
off.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
they were already
I
going.
just saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, man. I appreciate it.
Nice
Take care.
talking.
Take care. What was your name?
William.
William. Justin. Nice to meet you.
Alright.
All right, cool.
Thanks. Take care.
So you're just saying that flat Earth is a psyop?
Flat Earth is a psyop because the Earth is not flat, but it's also not a globe. It's a level plane. So-
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of the whole premise of this. Yeah.
Yes.
I get you.
Yeah.
It's like planet too, like plane ets.
Right? They added the T to plane and they just called it a planet.
It could be short for like terrestrial, right?
Terrestrial, in my opinion, or extraterrestrials, I would say they're just here in extra lands. So extra terra, extra land, basically. That's what that means. Extraterrestrials.
It seems like we've done enough research, right?
Oh, yeah,
What do you
definitely.
for sure condemn? NASA?
Oh,
That's one, right?
Yeah,
Or do we
definitely.
disagree there?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we agree there?
That what?
We condemn NASA?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. So NASA again, they claim to have satellites to that orbit the Earth.
They don't.
They don't. And you know how we know that?
I don't mean to cut you off, man. Okay, I just realized. So it seems like we've done our research scientifically, but on a Judaistic theological level, what do you think a firmament is?
The firmament.
The waters between waters.
Right,
What
right.
is that? Like, I don't.
So they're talking about
What do
some
you
kind of enclosement. So the Earth
Okay.
is a closed system, and I agree with that.
I agree with that too. Like, you
Because-
can't go up, you can't go down.
Yeah. So we experience air pressure here. The fact that we have air pressure, the air is being contained.
Is the expansion of a gas into a vacuum. I have in one of these bulbs some bromine, and in the other I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy.
But claims about domes and what that is, what that's made of, I don't know. All I know that we must be contained somehow.
But do you take in the religious factor, the Christian factor?
No, I'm not religious at all.
Interesting.
So
Me either, that's what I'm saying, but like, they say that in the pillars of the world, it's just like, and then you see the secret societies, their symbols, I guess more Freemasonic, but even that's a psyop kind of. I mean, it is a psyop, but not really, because it's like the secret societies within the secret societies that like manifest within that. But anyway, just like the symbolism is very Judeo. So it's like, I don't know how much to incorporate that, because I know that's like the demiurge, if anything. This God is the devil.
Right.
It's inverted. So like, I know that it's not my savior.
So they inverted the whole model too. So gravity, claiming that there's a pulling force that
gravity exists.
No.
It's like magnets.
No, that's the thing. This is why flat Earth is a psyop, because flat has nothing to do with orientation. Level does. In order for something to have orientation, it needs to have motion. So the Earth does have orientation. That's why it's level, which means it's actually moving. It's pressing up against you right now. So this whole claim that it's magnets pulling everything down is bullshit too. It's the Earth that's pressing up against your feet right now. It's not you being pressed down.
Interesting. So what would you have to say about John Hutchinson?
John Hutchinson? I haven't heard of him. What does he say or what?
Bro, really? That's a whole other... I'm going to try to condense it in like 2 minutes, okay?
Sure.
John Hutchinson in the 1980s was a Canadian man. He kind of was a little odd because he was always interested in things. He's interested in things. He somehow started recording that he can levitate things. He could also melt them, fuse them together, but also, like, it was literally alchemy. He could turn different elements into others. What happened was, in the 90s, the Canadian government understood what he was doing. They seized his equipment, and they basically told him to stop doing that. And he recently, because of the internet, the rise of the internet and stuff, he's come back on. He tried to spread more awareness, and now it seems like it's really weird, dude. Like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I found him on YouTube. He's completely, I don't know how much you know about the MK Ultra. He's like, they depersonalized him. And I see like his YouTube channel this guy was pretty famous. He came out in the news, Fox, all this stuff. He was a phenomenon back in the 80s, 90s in television. But now he's so deprogrammed, man. Like his YouTube videos, he's not all there. He has different characters. He has different personalities. Literally, he wears a wig and he says, "My name is Princess Baron." And another one, he talks in the English voice. So it's like, I guess when you start talking and you put yourself out there and start exposing stuff like this, at a certain level, if you have enough attention, they're gonna kill you. Or
you like, become a target.
Depersonalize you. Yeah.
So a lot of this MK Ultra, they've done it to celebrities as well, supposedly. But in my opinion, it's in a fundamental level. I think what they do is they drug them. So they definitely do put them on their medication somehow and stuff like that. And obviously that does fuck with their cognitive and their ability to think and be themselves, right? So that's probably what we experience.
Interesting.
Because MK Ultra.
Can I take a photo of all this? I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to see what research you have.
So again, NASA, they tell us the radius of the Earth because they supposedly go around it, right? So they do tell us the radius. Again, this is the exact formula. I don't know if you've seen this before.
I'll take a photo of this, but can you explain the MK Ultra? I want to see your perspective.
Oh, so MK Ultra.
Is that all the same? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll just do some research.
MK Ultra, again, to me, it's happening every day, everywhere. It's your TV.
It is your TV.
Subliminally brainwashing you through programming or TV programming, basically.
Yep.
So have you seen the movie Inception?
The dream within a dream?
Yeah. So they subliminally brainwash people there to come to conclusions on, so that they think they're coming to those conclusions on their own, right? So they have to go into people's dreams, right? To try to subliminally guide them to a choice that they want to do, but making them think that they're the ones making the choice, right?
Fuck, dude. You're going as deep as for me to tell you, because I don't even mean to like hijack your entire conversation, but like, do you think schizophrenia is real?
Schizophrenia.
I don't think it's real. Because now we're on the realm, it's a psyop. this whole mental illness phenomenon is
Oh,
only happening because we're
yes,
opening
yes.
up frequencies that's lowering it enough for these literal, like, we're hearing things, but not from our mind, from the outside.
I would say,
And check it out. This is why I say that, because they did do this back in with MK Ultra. There's videos, like, there's this guy, he said that he was hospitalized for days, months, and all he would hear, they'd play audios, you killed your mother, you killed your mother. Because they're trying to find a way to get in your brain. And they've done that now with these frequencies, but it's multiple. And we've been talking to like AIs this whole time. Like, we think that we're hearing ourselves, but we're not.
music.
But also
That's how they use it a
the
lot.
things that we're eating. We have so much plastics, chemicals in us that are opening these frequencies. So what I'm just saying is, like, that's where it's like, it makes more sense, in my opinion, that these mental illness, they are real to a degree, but it's not coming in our head. It's these frequencies,
Yeah,
these
it's what you
satellites,
absorb,
everything. Yeah,
everything you eat, what you take in. Yeah, all of that affects your conscious, believe it or not, your will even.
Basically,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
So it's like we're getting to that level where we do want to connect, and it's all in our eye.
Okay.
Like they patented this a long ass time ago where they scan your eye. Even that's what these phones do.
Yeah.
Like they did a TikTok. I've never downloaded TikTok, but they did a review how TikTok. It just monitors your eyes. It like lights up some infrared or some shit when you're on your phone that it sees where your eyes are. And I saw yesterday, you know Marcus Brownlee, this tech guy.
Yeah,
black dude?
I already know that.
He
yeah.
reviewed
Yeah.
the Apple thing, and the
Oh.
first thing he says, like, he literally says it doesn't track anything but your eye. The moment you put it on, you're supposed to calibrate your eye.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I feel like these phones, these watches, we're wearing everything. Again, maybe we have smart skin because of the chemicals that we have. We have smart phones, smart watches. Maybe our skin is allowing that, and what I'm just trying to say, man, is that's where I think we're headed. Like, this, whatever style that's gonna come out with this invasion or whatever, this war, it's not even gonna be real. Like, it's real, but it's not, because every car that we drive, every watch that we wear, every phone, it's all playing a part that's all syncing into a frequency.
For all we know, the alien invasion might just be
It's
visible to our
simulated.
phones.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's an infrared old thing, and
Yeah.
it's like, it's not even real.
Exactly.
So that's really where I've come to now, that point. But yeah, anyway, mental illness, I don't think all that's real. And then you look into SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. It's a new phenomenon, but that's what I'm saying, because some children can't even handle these frequencies. It's a new phenomenon since we've had technology. They literally die in their sleep. Why? Because it seems like the AI does something in your sleep, because we talked about your dreams. I've read articles too where they say, like, we're trying to get in your dreams. And how else can you do that with satellites, with these frequencies? It's magic, bro. I don't know how else to say that.
Oh yeah, technology is pretty trippy, you know. Nobody truly understands, or that I know at least, exactly how it works.
It's the Antichrist. That's where I've come to that, bro. I don't mean to cut you off again, but that's really what I think it is. It's like we're supposed to be Christ. Some of us aren't Christ. Some of us are horrible human beings, right? But for sure the Antichrist is that, and we're mixing into that. So it's like, that isn't the Antichrist.
That's what influences most people nowadays.
It does.
Their device, the TV, and, you know.
It's a
internet.
portal.
Yeah.
So-
Again, and if people are not grounded properly through their own common sense and their intuition, then you're gonna be easily swayed by all these technologies and cell phones. You know?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
It seems like you're pretty, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, 26.
26. Oh, okay.
You're pretty, dude, there's some even friends that they're just like at a certain level, like, dude, I don't know what to tell you anymore.
No, yeah, you just can't. You just
can't. You can't.
Yeah, some people are not ready for this.
They're not.
You know?
How about your family? Is your family?
Oh, they're not really either.
They just
my
stay
wife-
quiet. They don't know what to say.
No, yeah, that's another thing. It gets very awkward.
It's
It could get
awkward.
very awkward, yeah. So I just try to avoid it when I'm with family and friends and stuff like that.
Interesting.
You know, but
So then you just put it out here.
Yeah.
How do people react when they see this?
the reactions are priceless. You know, you
Really?
could get from triggered, you know,
Yeah.
to really open-minded. Like the couple that was just here, they were really open-minded. So
Interesting.
it was a little bit of a change there.
What's the worst thing you've been told?
Believe
For
it or
me,
not,
I've been told, like, why would NASA lie? I feel like that's an insult. Like, that gets
just look at my comment section. You'll
Okay.
see a bunch of trolls just
Shit.
talking shit. Like, again, but I don't really get that in person because again, most people see the cameras and they kind of just reserve themselves a bit. But yeah, you can still see the body language and you know the way they respond. It's still a little bit triggered, you know.
Well, hey, dude, I would say, I mean, obviously you can do what you want, you're your own person, but I'm not gonna say be careful, but just save whatever you do your content, because next you know, what if YouTube flags you, they delete your channel.
Definitely, I
At least
save
you
all
have
my-
everything archived and whatnot, so you can distribute it somewhere else.
Exactly. Exactly. I actually do have everything saved in the hard drive because I know YouTube could just remove my channel any day.
There's a purge. There was a purge. I think what solidified it too, I don't know if you knew this, a few years ago, even Google's homepage just says the earth is flat. Like they acknowledged it, but that was because at that point they had purged everything. So now when you search it up, they have their fact check information. Because it was actually, people were like, holy shit, there's something else to this. So.
Below every flat earth video, you see a Wikipedia thing about flat earth. Yeah, they completely rigged the algorithm.
They do a lot of polarizing shit. Flat earth, abortion, transgenderism.
Yeah, all of that. But flat earth, by far, I'm telling you, is the biggest.
It's an archaic debunked conspiracy. There's some shit like that.
Yeah. This is the most censored. There's agents at every level. Like you have, it's just so crazy. Controlled opposition. Again, all these motionless flat earthers, I would stay away from them personally. But yeah, I mean.
Bro, I'm gonna send you a video. Can I send you a video?
Sure.
This is why I only say I think it is like an electromagnetic toroidal field. Like it's a plane of perception, but we can't see it. But we are all a toroid, like a donut, and we're in the center.
Heard of that concept?
But like the more we spread out, the more. Watch, I'll send you the video,
sure,
and then
put it on the link there.
And then I'll let you educate other people.
Right.
Fuck, I can't find it. Well, I bet.
Yeah, no worries,
it's
man.
like, I don't know. But anyway, this guy just talks about how ancient symbols back then, it's something about that. I don't know. Again, I could be wrong. I guess we'll never know. But there is some energetic field that we can't see, but it's controlled by either magnets and electricity, and then something else. But I know you're saying, I don't know about magnets, but I feel like magnetism does have something to do.
Oh yeah, definitely it does. Electrostatic electricity, in my opinion, this is my opinion, because a lot of people would say, again, because it's the earth that's pressing up against us, so when we release an object, it's not the object that goes towards the earth, it's the earth that's coming up towards the object. So everything's in constant motion right now. Everything that's like connected to the earth is moving. So electrostatics, in my opinion, it's in the word static. What does static mean, right? It means no movement or lack of movement, right? So people would say, well, if objects decelerate, what's causing the deceleration, right? People would say, oh, you need a force to cause objects to... What if it's the electrostatic field that's here that's creating this deceleration? You know what I'm saying? As soon as I release this, it loses its momentum because of the electrostatic field, right? So again, a lot of people would say that the electrostatic field, this was causing the acceleration down, but we can prove that that's not the case. You know, all the effects of motion and acceleration vanish in free fall, meaning it's a free body. It's free from any force, because you need a force to create acceleration. And I don't know if you've heard of Einstein's theory of relativity. It's the modern theory of gravity.
It's true in some ways, but some ways it's not. It's like too much of an umbrella term for everything.
I'm gonna simplify it very easy. They acknowledge that there's no force accelerating objects to the ground, so they came up with a new theory, again, the bending and warping of space-time. So they acknowledge that it's the Earth accelerating up, and then this doesn't accelerate down. But this is where they do double speak. They say this doesn't accelerate down, but it still moves down. So the space supposedly is flowing. That's what they're claiming. So space is flowing, and Earth is flowing into the center. So Earth is trying to sink itself into its own space, basically. Earth is sinking itself into its own space, but Earth is accelerating up to cancel that, basically. So they claim, so again, so they're basically saying that the Earth is pushing up against the bending and warping of space-time, and that's why we have an upward force.
That's why you have black holes too, and some shit like
exactly.
that. Exactly. Yeah, they get like...
So they're basically saying the Earth is pushing up against you without moving. And this doesn't accelerate down, but it does move. So it's retarded, basically. So that's their... That's
4chan user, nah.
So that's Einstein's explanation to acknowledge that fact, that the objects don't accelerate down. It's the Earth.
Alright, bro. Well, it was a great talk.
Yeah, man.
Last thing I'll say, though, is I'm not religious either, but I think the more I read about Gnosticism, and like ancient Comedian, which is like Africa, but it's not really because they fucking pillage Africa.
Okay.
Anyway, there is a religious aspect to this.
There probably is.
And the more, but we truly come, like if you were born here, you need to, I mean, you don't need to, but I realize now, somebody who wasn't religious this whole time, if we go back to our Christian roots, we're going to understand the mystical aspect of all this. And the more I've done that, again, I'm not religious, but now I'm understanding the lore, and there's parables, there's allegories, and it's just straight up metaphors of like our own selves. That's what Christ is. It's a title, it's not a name, it's like a consciousness. It's like once you're reaching to that, how else do you do that? But anyway, that's just it. So
Appreciate the talk, man.
yeah, thanks again. Likewise, have a good one.
Take care, you too. Oh, I'm just asking the public to see if they're open-minded. You got a couple minutes?
Sure.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself an open-minded person?
Unfortunately, the most lonely mind, right? Is the open one.
So from 1 through 10, how open-minded would you say you are?
8.
8? Okay, that's pretty good. So let's say you were living a lie right now, or you believed a lie that affected your entire existence, right? Would you want to know about it, or would you rather live in ignorance the rest of your life?
I think I'd like to wake up.
Yeah, you like to wake up, right? And who wouldn't, right? So this is the main reason why I'm here. Do you believe the earth is a ball?
Sometimes I think it might be similar to a compact disc, like a CD.
Okay, so like a flat disc is what you're saying? Okay.
Not really like flat Earth, but like it's kind of a similar. I think of all kinds of
Okay,
ways.
so not 100% a sphere like this.
Not 100%.
So this is an official NASA image from 2012, and the
Right.
reason they call it an image is because it's not a photograph.
Right.
They admit that they don't take real photographs of the Earth from space as a ball. So a
Right.
photograph of the Earth as a ball doesn't exist. So if I was to ask you, why do you think that is?
Probably to keep us quiet,
Right.
Just feed us whatever we need to know.
Okay, that's a pretty good idea. But the real reason is, again, it has to do with that. But the fact is that this image defies physics.
Right.
Right. So how we know that is because NASA claims to have satellites orbiting the Earth, right? So they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius of the Earth is 3,959 miles.
Okay.
So there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile it has to increase because they're claiming it's a curve, not a slope. So in the first mile is an 8-inch drop, second mile 32 inches, and by the third mile they should be 6 feet of measurable curvature. So if we went out to a giant lake that was miles across, again, with the water at rest, we should be able to physically measure this curvature like this.
Right. No, you're right.
Like this.
I agree.
6 feet and 3 miles. But again, the physics of water is going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal because water doesn't have the ability to hump itself. It always forms a horizontal surface once it's contained and at rest.
Right.
That's the physics of water. So a physical measurement of the Earth will be the #1 proof to debunk the globe, water in specific. So if I was to ask you respectfully, what's the #1 reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball? And if you don't believe the Earth is a ball, I mean that's fine.
I honestly, like I said, my mind's very open.
So
So I
you-
don't believe in all
okay,
that
okay,
shit.
okay.
I actually went to school for physics.
Okay.
I only got to get it a year in because
Right,
COVID
right.
hit. But I don't know, man.
I mean, the fact that you're open.
I
might not
honestly
be-
feel like I'm walking in the Truman Show every day. I'm very aware of it.
Okay. So how long have you heard about this topic before, flat Earth, if I may ask?
5-6 years.
Oh, yeah. So I came across this in 2016.
Okay.
So 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't been, I've been doing this for about almost 2 years now, coming out and speaking to the public because it's the #1 censored topic online.
Right.
So it's literally being misrepresented in any way you could think. Like
Right.
every psychological trick you could think of is being used. So
No,
reverse
I
psychology,
agree with it. I agree with that.
ridicule,
I definitely know we're being
but they're
being
avoiding
manipulated.
physics, especially the physics of water, a physical measurement of the Earth, right?
Yeah.
So
It also doesn't make sense that all these people who come up with free energy get killed. Free, everyone like what is that?
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
know to not know if that makes sense.
No,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get taken out. I don't
Sure.
want to know too much, but
Sure.
I want to be able to open myself. To,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So
But I like to think of the Earth as like a disc a little bit
Right.
because you know how if you turn over a CD,
Okay.
it has that weird like translucent thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
if you shine it on a wall, you can see like little spots like
Yeah.
stars.
okay, that's
It's kind of like a similar idea, right?
Yeah.
But now we can't see the stars because we have light pollution. So whatever the fuck we're doing is messing up that like
yeah.
that
That's why only visible at night, basically. There's no light pollution. No,
Right.
that's a pretty good theory, believe it or not. So again, the horizon, right? How would we describe the horizon? This is about 20 miles in the sky
Okay.
with a non-GoPro camera. So how would we describe the horizon geometrically?
Yeah.
horizontal.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. We don't see any curvature. Not only that, again, the only place you're ever gonna see curvature is through GoPro cameras like this.
Right.
You know, that warp horizontal
because
lens.
it does it on you.
Exactly. So that's how they're deceiving people when they go in high altitude.
I wonder if because our eyes have a similar lens that
do.
maybe we're seeing it that way.
Some people think
and
they
it's
see
our
it.
perception,
Yes,
and
yes.
so maybe like butterflies can see 56 more hues of color than we can, so we're not seeing the whole world for what it is.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So maybe the way our eye is
We do have spherical vision.
is fucking everything up.
Yeah, we do have spherical vision, and
Yeah.
they take that. Believe it or not, the whole globe Earth concept was derived from spherical vision.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at luminaries in the sky and you move away from them, they appear to drop in your field of view.
Right.
That's due to the curve of our eye because
Right.
of perspective, but they're saying it's the curve of the Earth.
Right.
So that's
yeah,
how
that
they
doesn't
flip.
make sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So they
okay.
flip our perspective into the curve of the Earth.
I also like to think that the people who believe all this shit, like started this shit,
Yeah.
they're old, right?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
old. They don't want to be woken up, and so
Exactly.
they keep trying to put us in their fake bullshit.
Yes.
We don't want to listen to you guys. I don't know. I think they're just too ignorant
Yeah.
to wake up, like you said, right?
I still have this idea, and I know this might sound crazy, but again, this
No,
is just my idea. That
I'm crazy, so I
the
get
people
it.
that started this life, like you said, are probably still alive.
Yes, no, they are.
They're probably
no,
like
they
200
are. They're
years old.
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
They figured
Who knows?
something out to like keep it going.
They still
and
probably
want-
look old though. But
Well, probably, but I think they want us to stay sick. So, bells, they got rid of all the bells.
Okay.
That was actually healing us. There was high vibration frequencies were healing the town.
Okay.
And they got rid of bells. People getting sicker, big farm getting more money. Like, there's a lot of shit that
There's a lot.
I believe
Social
it all.
engineering.
I believe it all.
Yeah.
Whenever someone gives me a crazy conspiracy, I go, it's real. They go, what? You're not even going to think about it? I go, it's more
I wouldn't
real.
be surprised,
It's more real than the
basically.
textbook shit they're feeding you.
that's for sure. No, yeah.
That my kids will never go to public school unless they go, Mom, I want to. I'm fine.
Same.
Can't fucking fight you.
Yeah, I have a couple of kids too under
Yeah.
3, and definitely gonna homeschool or
Yeah, you
try
tell
to.
them, question everything
Exactly.
and everyone. Question me.
Yeah,
Question
exactly. Don't
me.
trust me. Understand
Like,
me. Just don't
we
trust
grew
me.
up thinking our parents fucking were God because they
Yes.
made us think like that, right? Like, we're your parent. You do what we say.
Authority.
Everything I say is real. I don't want to be like that to my kids.
No, yeah,
they need to have an open mind. It took
Yeah.
me a long time to get like this,
Oh,
to
right.
reprogram or unprogram. Sorry,
Yeah,
to unprogram
to
myself.
unprogram yourself. Yeah.
It took a long
A lot
time.
of people are just stuck. They don't have the ability to look outside, their own bubble. In other words.
Right, right.
And again, I'm glad that you are able to because you're able to see what's really going on.
Years though,
Yeah.
years of undoing it.
Yeah.
So it
Believe it or
takes
not,
time.
I was kind of like that too. I was very close-minded, just by the book, square, right? I was like a straight A student at school too.
Same.
Right?
I'm a nerd. Dude. I love it.
Yeah. So when I came across this in 2016, it completely changed my perspective on everything. And it took me a few months to accept it, obviously, because I was a huge believer in space,
Right.
and aliens and all that bullshit. But
I believe in all that stuff too, but I kind of feel like space is like water. Like we're in water, within water. We're like the whole world, everything
but
is water, right?
space as a vacuum with other planetoids, other terra firmas,
Doesn't make
that
much
obviously
sense.
is bullshit.
Doesn't make much sense.
What's outside of the Earth? I don't deny that there could be an environment outside of the Earth. It has to.
Right.
Earth has to exist somewhere. So what's outside of it?
Neil deGrasse.
Yes.
Okay. The godfather of physics,
Yes,
right?
yes.
He says if there's another planet out there that we can turn into Earth, then we would fix this one. You know what I mean? Like, so we haven't found it.
Yeah.
But why aren't we fixing this one and trying to find something else?
Right.
All these like billionaires are getting bunkers and trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of here.
True.
That's weird.
I would say all of that just fear mongering.
They're doing it to us on
Because
purpose,
energy
too.
cannot be created nor destroyed. This is a physical first law of thermodynamics. So you can't make something just disappear. So when they talk about water droughts and that's all bullshit.
Yeah, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah.
Well,
But I'm gonna get him some food. Do you
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
if I take a quick picture?
definitely, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm actually almost done here too. So
Cool.
this is probably my last conversation.
He hasn't eaten much today. I wonder why this isn't working.
I did give you a flyer, right?
No.
No? Oh.
No, I didn't get a flyer. Hold on, Bella.
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. So here's
Talk to my
flyer.
husband about it later.
I go to universities. That's the
Oh,
main place
cool.
I go to.
I can watch some
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm actually
Yeah.
live streaming right now too, so you could probably check some of that out.
I'll check it out. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, you
I
take care.
appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
good to meet other people who are
Definitely.
stuck,
Yeah.
you know?
No, yeah, definitely.
Have a good one.
You too, man.